great is to shout them out. Let's say we were on a hike. All of a sudden, off in the distance, we've seen a bear, kind of like Gruff or Berkeley. They're over there. They're minding their own business. They're doing their own thing. What do you think you should do? Yeah, turn around and go back the way you come. If the bear's minding its own business, we should mind our own business too, shouldn't we? What if, though, all of a sudden, the bear that's way over there does this? Oh, you cheated. Try again. That is good, boy. So if we have a bear standing up on its back 2 feet, but over yonder, does anyone know why it might be doing that? Well, it's an information-seeking stance. The bear over there knows that there's something over here, and it's trying to figure out, is that something I should chase after and eat for my lunch, or is that something I should turn around and run away from? So as humans, the best thing we can do is just give those bears the information they're looking for. Ideally, 3 things all at the same time. We can make ourselves look bigger, because we are much more intimidating when we look big, making sure again you're backing up for that critical space, and ideally a loud monotone voice. The difference between us and other animals is our voice. What if, though, we actually run into a grizzly bear on the path about 20 or 30 feet from us, and if it was a cranky grizzly bear, trust me, you'd all know it was cranky. It would be doing things like bluff charging, hitting the ground in front of it, screaming, chomping its jaws, lowering its head, pitting its ears. You wouldn't be questioning. The hard thing is, does anyone know what we should do? This is probably the hardest question. So the best thing we can do, stand our ground. You don't want to back up and give ground to aggression. They're probably going to keep coming. You don't want to get aggressive with the grizzly because it's probably going to get aggressive back. Do not stare the bear in the eyes. That could be a threat or a challenge. So just stand your ground. This is where we like to mention bear spray. You would get it out, uncap it, be prepared to use it if the bear advanced. Bear spray does have a 30-foot range forward, a 5-foot thaws on the end. It's not the end-all be-all of bear safety, but statistically it is proven to be way more effective than a rifle. In fact, it is 98% effective when used properly. When I say used properly, that means that it does hit their nose and their eyes. It does not work if you spray it all over your campsite. In fact, that probably will attract a bear, because bears love the smell of bear spray. There are many trails now in Kananaskis country you are not supposed to be on without it, and making sure you store it somewhere where you can get it in your hand quickly and effectively is also ideal. Your backpack is not ideal. If everything goes wrong and you're physically being mauled by a grizzly bear, what do you do? Yeah, play dead, absolutely. So you can lay flat on your stomach or curl up in a ball. The whole goal is just to protect your vital organs. Hands behind your neck, not your head. Your head is actually significantly stronger. And the secret to playing dead is you do not make a sound. If you make a sound under the bear, you could turn into a threat or prey. Be very aware that brown bears are notorious for going off a short distance to see what you're going to do next. So you do want to play dead till the bear is actually gone. What if, though, we stumble across a black bear? Maybe we were picking some berries and we realize we're not the only ones in that berry bush picking. Does anyone know what you're supposed to do in that situation? It might actually surprise you to know that black bears are more of a flight than a fight species. So we can get louder, we can get much bigger, much more obnoxious, and tell the bear to get the heck out of there. And typically they're going to. They don't want to be in our space anymore, we do theirs. With the exception if you had a predatory black bear attack. That's where a black bear would have hunted, stalked you in the woods, broke into your house, tent, or cabin. And of course, in that situation, you would do whatever you have to survive because their intent is extremely serious. That's why it is so important to know the difference between the two different species at a glance and in shape alone, because we do behave very, very differently. Now, all that being said, the bear in front is Boss. The one hiding behind me is Piper. Their birthdays are both on January 9th. They are not siblings, but they did come from the same facility. It was forced to shut down, unfortunately, and the adults were confiscated. When we inquired what was going to happen to the cubs, we were told it was inconclusive. I'm sure many of you can determine what inconclusive probably means. That was not okay. And so after many phone calls with the USDA and many other authorities, we were successful in doing paperwork and securing these cubs, bringing them up to Canada, and they will stay here with us for the rest of their lives. Now, you might be able to hear them. That sound you hear them making is called cooing. It's a very happy, content sound. And that is simply sucking on Mickey. Piper's behind me sucking on my fingers. You might have noticed even Berkeley was sucking on my fingers. There is nothing magical on my fingers. It's just something that bears do. It doesn't matter really and honestly how old they are. Some bears will suck on their own tongues. Siblings will frequently suck on other siblings' ears, pads of their own feet. So, all that being said, little Piper over here, do any of you have any questions? If you do, please shout very loudly because it's very hard to hear anybody over here. You guys are so quiet. Don't pull on the mic. Thank you. None. Well, please remember when traveling out in bear country to be very bear aware. Always remember that a fed bear is a dead bear. When we habituate wild bears, that is what they succumb to. And every time humans do something as simple as stop their vehicle on the side of the highway, you are part of the problem of habituating wild bears. Again, their noses are absolutely amazing. When they combine the smell of a human with those amazing smells of vehicles, there's air fresheners, different foods, even as humans smell good, we are habituating them. So let the wild bears be wild. Keep in mind, humans are the only true predators bears have. Average life expectancy for a wild bear is about 8 years old. There's over a 50% mortality rate in the cubs. And in captivity, a black bear can actually live 20 plus years. Brown bears, 25 plus years. So if we're their only true predators, we're not doing very well by them. So always remember, let the wild bears be wild. I hope you all enjoyed the bears as much as we do. If any of you do have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask any of us. We are truly happy to answer them for you. I am going to now pass the mic over to Mr. Jacob. We do offer photos with the bears. If anyone that is interested, he will explain how those work. And thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay hydrated in this heat.